to preview the Baylor at Kansas State football game. And first of all, Kansas State's favored by 20.5 points. The game is played on ESPN Plus on November 11th at 2 p.m. Central Time. Well, first of all, Kansas State is 6-3 overall, 4-2 in the conference, while Baylor's 3-6 overall, 2-4 in the conference. And I'm going to tell you right now, Kansas State was a fool to go for it in overtime. All they needed was a field goal to extend the game, especially against a backup quarterback. Why did they not do that? Because they were getting stops and they got all the momentum. That's besides me. And I will say the majority of the losses for Kansas State this year has been on the road. On the road in Missouri, they lost on a 61-yard field goal. They lost to Texas last week. Yes, they beat Texas Tech, but they lost to Oklahoma State. But you get the point. All three losses are on the road. And you're going to have to expect Kansas State's going to play ticked off after letting a game slip away from their fingers. Kansas State even missed an easy field goal. Yes, they got a stop. Then they made a longer field goal to give it to overtime. But make that field goal and you get a stop and then you get a field goal at the end, you win the game in regulation. And both of these teams are coming off of overtime losses. Mind you, both of them. I mean, by a point and by 3 points. So, yeah, that's the thing. And they had a extra point bobble on the snap too. Kansas State did. After they got it to like 27-21. I mean, they were down 27-21, but then they scored a touchdown. But unfortunately for Kansas State, they bobbled it. The snap. Yeah, make that extra point. They potentially win the game. Because, Texas later on scored a field goal. And then Kansas State made a field goal to get it to overtime. They would have won by a point. Okay, enough of that game. I'm just emphasizing that Kansas State let that game slip away. And Kansas State fans would agree with me on that. They would. First of all, they like a run, like a spread offense. For Kansas State does, they average 36.56, which is about 35.6 points per game. 214 first downs, 204.6 rushing yards per game, 248.44 passing yards per game, 31 minutes, 36 seconds on time of possession, 63 for 125 on third down, 5 for 13 on fourth down. They have allowed 14 sacks and 42 tackles for loss, 27 pass breakups and 24 quarterback hurries. They do have 8 interceptions and 2 fumbles on the year, but average 2 or 3 deep at the offensive line is 302.5 pounds. And I'm going to tell you right now, point blank in the face, that Kansas State can run the ball with their quarterback, not just on one quarterback, but both of them, because they do use a interchangeable system too at times. So I'm just going to tell you that right now. And Will Howard, number 18, 6'5", 235-pound quarterback, that's a senior. And Avery Johnson, number 5, 6'2", 188-pound quarterback, that's a freshman. And I will put the stats in the description below so y'all could see it. Obviously, G.J. Giddens is the best running back, number 31, 6'1", 212-pound running back, that's a sophomore. He can catch the ball too. So he is a threat out of the backfield as a pass catcher like Deuce Vaughn was. So let's keep that in mind. And Trayshawn Ward, number 9, 5'10", 194-pound running back, that's a senior. He can catch the ball out of the backfield too. And he even attempted 1 pass this year. So, yeah. And after that, it's like Phillip Brooks, number 8. He came back from last year. 5'8", 271-pound wide receiver, that's a senior. He's like the leading receiver on their team. Then it's Ben Sinnott, their tight end, number 34, 6'4" 245-pound tight end. That's a junior. Of course, like I said, DJ Giddens is up there in the receiving. He's like number 3 on the team, actually. Then it's Jace Brown, number 1, 5'11", 274-pound wide receiver. That's a freshman. Jaden Jackson, number 0, 6'1", 109-pound wide receiver. That's a senior. RJ Garcia, number 3, 6 foot, 176-pound wide receiver. That's a sophomore. Keegan Johnson, number 10, 6 foot, 193-pound wide receiver. That's a sophomore. So that's just all the guys you need to know that are 150 yards receiving or more. Defensively, they like run a 3-3-5. 17.78 points per game, which is like, if you want to round it up to 17.8, that's fine. 159 first downs. They allow 122.8 rushing yards per game, 235.89 passing yards per game. So they have given up some plays, passing plays. 28 minutes, 8 seconds on time possession allowed on defense. 35 for 219 on third down, which is like ridiculous. That's really good. 11 for 25 on fourth down, 56 tackles for loss, 19 sacks, 33 pass breakups, 18 quarterback hurries for 9 interceptions, 4 fumbles. They even blocked 2 kicks this year. 2 of them. Either a punt or a kick, but you get the point. The average 2 or 3 deep at the defensive line is 274.6 pounds if you want to round it up from 5'7", but you get the point. But just a nose tackle alone, for the 3 deep, 382 pounds. And at the right defensive end and the left defensive end, 249 pounds. Obviously, Austin Moore, number 41, 6 foot, 219-pound linebacker. That's a senior. Kobe Savage, number 2, 5'11", 207-pound safety. That's a senior. Marquette Siegel, number 21, 5'11", 197-pound safety. That's a junior. Willie the third at number 8, 6'3", 185-pound cornerback. That's a sophomore. Desmond Purnell, number 32, 5'11", 224-pound linebacker. That's a sophomore. BJ Payne, number 19, 6'3", 200-pound safety. That's a sophomore. And they did intercept 2 passes last week, and it could have been more against Malik Murphy from Texas. So I'm just telling you right now. Jacob Parrish, number 10, 5'10", 183-pound cornerback. That's a sophomore. Jay Clifton, number 31, 6'2", 222-pound linebacker. That's a sophomore. Keegan Garber, number 1, 6 foot, 184-pound cornerback. That's a senior. Austin Payne, number 45, 6'2", 238-pound linebacker. That's a freshman. Yes, I'm including the 2 deep on some of these guys on the names here, just in case they rotate. But you get the point, and if there's an injury during the game, that way you know. Brendan Mott, number 38, 6'5", 244-pound defensive end. That's a senior. Uso Somalo, number 99, 6'3", 340-pound defensive tackle. That's a senior. Khalid Duke, number 29, 6'4", 246-pound defensive end. That's a senior. Kobe. I don't need to go over the next guy. Next 2 guys here. Then it's Nate Matlack, number 97, 6'5", 249-pound defensive end. That's a junior. Cody Stufflebean, number 47, 6'4", 257-pound defensive end. That's a junior. And that's pretty much it on the defense. Of course, special teams wise, the normal kicker they use is Chris Tennant, which y'all could look at the description below for that. And I'm not going to go over that this time because I think this is going to be a runaway game here, potentially. I'm not being negative. I'm being realistic. And then Jack Bloomer, number 43, 6'3", 203-pound punter. That's a senior. If you want to check those stats out, it's in the description below where y'all could see it. And I'm just telling the truth, point blank in the face, guys, about this game. Because this could get ugly. potentially. But both teams are coming off of emotional losses, so in a game where they let one slip away. I mean, it's the truth. And even like I said for Kansas, you know what I said about Kansas State against Texas last game. Baylor let one slip away. Get one more stop on defense, you win the game in overtime. Or even make one of those two missed field goals in the game last week against Houston, you win the game because of a game-winning touchdown. I mean, that would have been the game-winning touchdown. And you forced two picks, too. I mean, that's the thing. You were in this game, in that game last week, and rallied back. I want to tell you right now, across the board, you got to play your hair on fire and play with nothing to lose. I mean, you're 3-6. You have to win out to make a bowl game, and even that is going to be challenging because, first of all, you got this game, and I'm not overlooking this game by any means, but you got TCU on the road next, and then West Virginia at home, and that's none of those easy games coming up. So you got to play your hair on fire and play with nothing to lose, and you got to make adjustments on the fly quicker. I'm just telling you that. You got to limit your penalties across the board, and you got to keep your composure. And yes, you want to continue to fight back, but you got to find a way not just to fight, but to win. That's what David Randa said in the one-on-one conversation with David Smoke, aka Smokey, earlier this week. So he said that, and he gets they need to win games. He gets it. I know he does. He said point blank. Now, obviously, special teams wise, I'm going to go over that first to make it brief. Don't have special teams blunders. You got to make your field goals, unlike a week ago. You got to be good on kick return coverage, punt return coverage. I mean, and even kickoffs. Like, kick the ball to the end zone and have good punts, too. And it would really help because those do help, and don't allow like a block kick or a block punt to happen. But if you could get a block kick or a block punt to happen, that's all good by me. And have good returns if you can on kickoffs and punts. But you get the whole point. And don't bobble snaps. And you got to start a lot faster than you have been all year long. I'm saying that point blank in the face about starting faster on every aspect of the game. Not just offense, not just defense, but everything. I'm going to say this offensively. I don't know if you're going to be able to run the ball against Kansas State, but if you can run the ball, that would really help. But I would more dare to say, kind of do that game plan against Cincinnati last road game we played, in terms of make your pass plays like your run plays. And you got to have your offensive line step up. I mean, not just a run blocking, but pass blocking. Even your tight ends need to do that better job in the run blocking department. And wide receivers, and we don't want penalties across the board. I get it. And I don't know the status of Keytron Jackson going into this game. I hope he plays, because I don't know. Without him, I don't know if you gotta have your wide receivers step up, your tight ends to step up in terms of pass catching, and do not drop the ball. And I get some of those throws might be behind you a little bit, but at the same time, and that's partly on Blake Shapen, but at the same time, you've got to find a way to catch the ball and have that concentration. And you cannot be shut out in the first half like you did last game against Houston. And think you're going to come back on them, because I'm going to tell you right now, this Kansas State defense is a good defense. Yes, they've been exposed some in the past, and it's really the pass defense. And I did not mention any guys for Kansas State going into this game that are out for the year and it occurred earlier on this season. I did not mention those guys, and I did it on purpose. They're not going to play. I mean, that's the truth. And both those guys are on defense, not offense. So, yeah. Yeah, it really would help you have your running back step up, too. And like I said, play your hair on fire. You play with nothing to lose here. I'm just telling you the truth. And you got to execute a lot better. And not like route running, catching the ball, blocking, throwing the ball even. And when you get to the red zone, do not self-inflict yourself. That's kind of what happened in that one drive against Houston in the second half, where you got into the inside the 10-yard line, then you have back-to-back penalties. You just can't do that. That's hurting yourself. I would also defensively now. I want to go over that real quick. They're going to run the ball. It's no secret. It is the weakness of the Baylor defense. Why would they throw it in this game? I mean, that's the truth. They got to stop the run a lot better than you have been, which I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but you get the whole point. And you have your pass defense step up and create, and y'all got to create some turnovers on defense and try to get some stops on third down to get off the field. And I forgot to mention this offensively. You got to take care of the ball. I mean, that's point blank in the face there. And I mean, Blake Shapen has only thrown 2 picks all year, and some people say he's terrible or the reason why Baylor's losing. No, he's not the reason. He's been balling out. Without him, we don't win against UCF. And we don't have that near comeback win against Houston. I'm just telling you. And he only had like one bad game against Iowa State, and it was below 250 yards passing. I mean, I'm just telling you. I'm telling you the truth. There are other issues on the team besides, and it's not necessarily on him. And yes, I know he made some throws. And it doesn't help that he got hurt earlier in the year too. Now go back to the defensive side of the ball. I apologize for that rant. You got to find a way to create turnovers if you can, whether it's strip fumbling or picks. I mean, that's the truth. You got to play good pass defense. You got to stop the run. I would honestly say make Kansas State try to throw the ball on you. But I don't know if they're gonna. I know they could throw the ball. I'm just saying, make it harder on them. And you gotta tackle better. I mean, I'm just telling the truth in all this. And we're gonna just wait and see what happens in this game, and what happens down the line in the off season here. Because I know there are going to have to be some changes. We just don't know what it is. Up to this point, it's going to be because, there's a buyout, first of all, not just for Aranda, but all the staff. I mean, I'm not the one that wants people to get fired. Oh, no. But I'm just telling you right now about that. Or you got to get some guy clean house offensively. I don't know what's gonna happen, and nothing will shock me at this point in time. And this is just a briefer overview of this game. And let's just go out there, show what we got. Play with nothing to lose. Play your hair on fire. I mean, and it seems like we're a better team on the road, but then again, it's against UCF and Cincinnati. I'm just telling you that. And Kansas State's a totally different animal at home when compared to on the road. And let's try our best to give them the first loss at home. But we're going to have to wait and see what really happens. I'm just like doing coach speak on that. It's the truth. And you can't let the jerseys for Kansas State intimidate you, especially after last year's beatdown. You got to be more fired. You got to be fired up for this game because they beat you up last year at home. I mean, I'm just telling you that right now, and you got to come out with energy. I mean, and you got to come out with more urgency than ever. So, anyways, if you like this content, like and subscribing. I'll see you guys later on the road to 600 subscribers, of course, ultimate goal. It's 1,000 or more, so make money off this. Of course, liking the video, commenting the video really does help the YouTube algorithm so more people can see it. Sharing the video does help too. It broadens the audience. And I do appreciate you all for watching. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It's free. And hit the notification bell as well. That's free as well. So thanks again for watching. And I'll see you guys later.